This is the most heartbreaking ending I've ever played. Let me tell you why. Hey guys, welcome to my video. When it comes to video games, I'm extremely picky. If I don't get a good narrative with good gameplay, I don't care to play. But over the past 3 years, I actually have gotten a keen interest in atmospheric horror, with games like Inside and this subject of the video, Little Nightmares. Little Nightmares is a very charming, suspenseful, twisted, cute game with many great moments. In 2021, they made a sequel, and now we're getting a third game this year, and at some point, the original creators of Little Nightmares are making a game called Reanimal, and it's at some point gonna come out this year. So I thought I'd talk about the game that started my obsession with atmospheric horror, and my personal favorite, Little Nightmares 1. While of course the main story is great, not many people talk about the DLC. It actually does a lot of really good world building, some very tense moments, and a really great ending. Now to understand what I'm talking about, we have to start from the beginning. We start off with the dream sequence when we see this geisha. It starts to move the camera, and we wake up. We're this little girl. Her name is Six. Immediately I'm thinking, why is this innocent little girl in this weird place? We continue along and we find this little gnome-like creature. Turns out we can hug it, same with all the others. They seem to like us, and they copy our movements. We don't know what they are. We keep going and we find this really creepy thing called the janitor. We keep running into it as it constantly chases us. Then at the same time, Six is suffering from constant hunger. As Six is going through this hunger, a child sees her. The child is boarded up, but it's in this cafeteria, despite being in a cage. Like a bro, he gives Six a piece of meat. These children appear to be just like us, except they've been captured. But why are they being taken care of? After we get hungry again, we fall into a trap laid out by the janitor. We wake up in a cage as another child is being taken away. We escape the cage and walk out of the room. For some reason, Six doesn't free the other kids. We find out why the kids are being taken care of when we see the janitor wrapping up a body. That must be what happens if Six gets caught. After sharing some shenanigans with the janitor, he chases us into a room where the entrance is falling apart. The janitor tries to grab Six, but she manages to avoid his long arms. There's only one way out, so she takes it. Okay, maybe she isn't so innocent. We're off again, until the hunger comes back. Then at the same time we see this rat walk by. Then we hear this, and see the rat stuck in a trap. We know what's about to happen. We eat it, but Six doesn't stop to reflect. She just keeps going. She ends up in a pantry with a ton of food there. If she just waited, she could have gotten a proper meal. This shows how powerful her hunger is. Fun fact, the original working title for the game was literally Hunger, until they changed it because it would be hard to search up online. We then see chefs preparing food, presumably from the meat of the children. But for what? After we escape, we finally realize where we are. You might have noticed the constant rocking, so you may have figured it out already. We get this amazing shot as we realize we're on a giant water vessel, and we see these fat things boarding. They're called the guests. As the guests are walking, we once again see the geisha. Looks like she's in charge of the place. And we see the guests feasting. That's what this place is. A banquet vessel. The guests try to grab Six, so we escape. And then we run into one of the chefs again. We get a nice little moment of quiet, which can only mean something's about to happen. Now the guests are chasing us again, climbing over each other just to get us. The floor and furniture falling apart around her. We keep going until we reach the edge of a table. We jump, and one of the guests falls. Once again, we get a moment of calm. But it doesn't last long, because once again, Six's hunger returns. We start walking around looking for something. She looks like she's about to pass out. Then we see little gnome holding a sausage. The gnome seems to actually want to help her out. Well, that's cute, so Six can enjoy a meal from the gnome and give it a little hug, right? Right? Well, Six walks up to the gnome. She eats it. She eats an innocent little gnome creature without any hesitation. For seemingly no reason. There was a sausage right there. This shows that her urges go far beyond regular hunger. So after that, what does she do? Nothing. She just keeps going like nothing happened. So I'm thinking, what makes her better than the guests? Or any of the creatures we've come across. 6 runs into the geisha as it goes up an elevator. We follow her and go in. To make a long story short, after this very suspenseful stealth moment and chase sequence, we use a mirror to fight her, because apparently she can't stand looking at her own face. We end up defeating her when suddenly, yeah, 6 approaches the woman and she consumes her. If you actually pay attention, every time 6 ate something, she consumed their spirit, and then adopted some of their characteristics. When she ate the rat, she became more rabid, which is why she ate the little gnome. Now 6 has the lady's powers. She copies the motion from the beginning. Then she walks into the main hall and consumes the guests around her. She doesn't stop until she reaches the exit. She leaves to go on and find a new place to consume. At first I thought the name Little Nightmares was referring to the situation she's in, but it's her. 6. She is a little nightmare. And what makes her different from the guests? Kick him out on top. She won. Everybody in this world is looking out for themselves. If not, you're dead. 6 leaves, and behind her are all the gnomes she hugged. Unless you're one of those jerks that didn't give them hugs. So that's the main story. But Secrets of the Maw, the DLC, is where things get interesting. After another creepy nightmare, we wake up. We're known as the Runaway Kid. We're in one of the rooms that 6 was in when she saw the janitor for the first time. We leave the room to escape. We see the janitor capture another kid trying to escape. We continue on and briefly see a leech under a bed. We go past it and we see this girl. We follow her into a pipe. Then we find a flashlight she was using on the floor with ink on the ground. It's obvious what happened to her. We take the flashlight and continue on. We keep running into this constant body of water. And if there's water, there has to be something in it, right? Because nothing happens, we keep letting our guard down until we reach this little area, and this happens. Now we know there's something in there. We jump from platform to platform trying to get past it. I'm serious when I say how nerve-wracking this part is. We escape it for a bit and do a few puzzles before we're back at it. We actually get a good look at its appearance when it's sitting on this chair. We eventually make our way to a TV. It tries to get us, so we throw the TV into the water, and the granny, yes, that's his name, gets electrocuted. We continue on only to get captured by the janitor. It's revealed in this little cutscene that we're the kid who was dragged away when 6 was captured. We end up escaping the zipline area, and the gnomes find us. It's revealed that the gnomes are workers at the Maw. They're the ones who keep it running. That still doesn't tell us what they are. After some creepy encounters with the janitor, including this really tense one, we get enough gnomes to take us up. After a few more puzzles, we get this nice moment where the gnomes sit at a fire relaxing and being together. The music in this game can't be understated. Everywhere from the opening title, to 6's theme, to the geisha's theme, and this theme. I believe it's called Togetherness. It appeared on the music box in an earlier moment and later on in the second game. It appears here too. It's a very nice moment. Despite the hardships, the gnomes take time to relax and be together. If you've played the game before, this shot is a cool visual detail that hints to the later reveal. So we're off again. We end up in this elevator when it starts moving, and the geisha appears. We know we're eventually gonna have to deal with her. After a recreation of this moment, we go through recorders collecting props for pedestals and do some Indiana Jones stuff. After we've gotten the second to last artifact, the corridors go dark. The geisha's gone, but we're not alone. In the darkness, we can see these things running by. We go to where the geisha was and she's gone, but in her place, beside the key, is a shadow creature. It breaks apart when we shine a light on it. Then we see this. We know what we gotta do now. We go back to the top room and continue on. At this point, we have to balance getting a task done with defending ourselves. This is one of the most stressful parts of the game, especially when you die. 20 times. In a row. We get a little moment to relax. Please don't fall, please don't fall. We get one last encounter with the creatures as we go through a room where we need to once again mix cranking this wheel with oh my gosh, can you let me do what I need to do? When we finally have enough, we run. We just run. Finally, we're away from them. We complete the little puzzle by playing a sick tune and grab the statue and continue on. We end up back in the Indiana Jones room and back into the main area. The shadows are gone, but now the music is super ominous. Something's about to happen, isn't it? We put the statue down and we're off. We walk through a dark hallway until we see this. The geisha looking in the mirror at herself. She looks ugly, except her reflection doesn't match her actual form. Now why is that? Now according to the comic, the mirror doesn't actually show her actual form, but what she truly is on the inside. And according to other theories, the geisha absorbs children's souls to keep herself young. And it's possible that the shadows are the souls of the children. Whatever the case is, doesn't matter to us. We continue on, except... we run. She stalks us in the shadows. All we can do is keep moving. We end up in this dead end, only to hear a door open. We follow it and end up in a room where a light shines through a crack. That's our way out. We walk towards it. Finally, after all this, the kid can finally escape. The nightmare is over. We wake up. In the place of the kid is a gnome. That's right. All this time, the gnomes were children. The geisha absorbs the children's souls, makes them shadows, and puts them to work as gnomes. One thing you'll notice is that the gnomes are a lot less agile than the kids. There's a gap that we could have easily jumped across when we were the kid, but now the jump is weak. We barely even get past an inch. We walk past the guests, but they don't pay us any attention. We continue aimless until we see a crack. We proceed to walk through it. Then we see this. We can't do anything with the controls anymore. The gnome walks around the other gnomes, and they scamper away. He stares at the sausage as the geisha scene plays. It fades to black. That's right, not only do we become a gnome, but the one that Six eats. This is the most brilliant form of world building because it explains what the gnomes are and what happens to them by letting us play as one before it meets its inevitable fate. Remember this shot? Yeah, ironically, this means that Six also ate a kid, making her practically identical in behavior to the guests. If you put into perspective, the reason the gnomes ran from Six and the kid was because they were afraid. They didn't trust them. But the reason this gnome trusted Six is because he assumed she was just like him, just as kind. Truly showing how unforgivable this world is. Kindness isn't rewarded. That is why this is the most heartbreaking ending I've ever played. We get a little end credit scene, where we pan out from a TV and see the silhouette of a man on the screen, giving us a nice tease to the second game. But that is a story for another time. God bless.